Hey folks, welcome back to our Dice Tower preview. I'm Mark, and today we're taking a look at USS Freedom. USS Freedom is brought to you by Dreamcraft Games. It's for 1 to 6 players, ages 14 and up, and games range anywhere from 45 to 60 minutes per play session. USS Freedom is a cooperative, open-world, free-roaming, space-themed board game. So, it was just another convention. GameCon, so many amazing costumes. You will assume the role of an unlikely hero. Cosplayers from GameCon who embark on an epic quest to save the Earth, or be destroyed trying. Sail into the vastness of space aboard the Starship Freedom in his 3-year quest, a fully replayable campaign that consists of 36 standalone sessions lasting 60 minutes each. In every session, you will get to pilot your ship in any direction, so your choices will dictate the challenges you will engage with, and in the end, write your own story. No two campaigns will ever be the same. Explore unknown worlds, discover alien civilizations, and decide who will be your ally or your enemy. Upgrade your ship, and enhancing your heroes is the key to survival. Will you become a space merchant, trading legal or even illegal commodities? Are you more of a scientist unraveling the mysteries of strange space phenomenon? Or maybe a hunter of dangerous monsters living on exotic planets? Will the promise of wealth lure you into becoming a space pirate ambushing frigates? Or will the irresistible lure of fame from saving entire worlds lead you to engage enemy space monsters? The choices are yours and yours alone. Good luck. So, this is a big, expansive game with so many options. More than we can cover here, but let me give you some of the highlights. So, setup on this one is dependent on where you last left off. They have streamlined the process to get you in and out of the game quickly. You have colored pegs to track where each miniature was located on the interstellar map, and all the dice that represent the world's reputation will stay in place. But the rulebook also has a couple really nice guides to help you as well, like the ship log, keeping track of the commodities, upgrades, and so forth. Also, the interstellar map, where you can track everything. And you have the captain's pouch, where you will be placing all your upgrade tiles, commodity chips, and credit tokens, as well as all the encounter cards that you have faced, and all heroes that are still living. So let's take a closer look at the different areas. This is where the game gets really interesting. You start with the interstellar map of the galaxy, where all the miniatures will be placed, and again, each die represents reputation. In order to win the overall campaign, you will need to convince the capital worlds to share their time-bending technology with you by having a reputation of 6, and fulfilling a unique victory condition related to each of these worlds. Then we move to the zoomed-in view of your ship. Yes, zoomed in. This is where you will be manning stations and using your cosplay crew. All the areas of the ship can be upgraded as well for a cost. Now, there's another level of zoom if you happen to engage in hand-to-hand combat. You will zoom in again, fighting either on the ship or on an alien world, placing standees and planning out your attacks appropriately. Now let's take a closer look at your crew or your hero cards. As you'd expect, you have a series of stats: strength, agility, engineering, diplomacy, and health. These stats are very important to keep in mind, specifically for when each hero is placed in the ship. A high engineering ability would make a hero well suited to man the engines or repair damage. High agility will make that hero better at piloting the ship or firing weapons. So, when and where you place heroes during a battle is a key strategic aspect of the game. So the thematic part of these heroes is really interesting. Their cosplay will dictate their powers in the game, all located at the bottom of the card. When activating these abilities, you will blind draw crystals from a bag. Based on the color, you will be able to activate that ability on the card, as well as any ability below or lower than the crystal's value or color. And throughout the game, much like the ship, you will be able to upgrade these crystals in your bag. However, these crystals are tied to you. As the player, each player will have their own bag, and no matter what hero you are controlling, the crystals are yours. Now, there's also a series of encounter cards. And when I say a series, I mean a whole ton of these cards. These cards can be aliens, ships, or cosmic encounters, all with their own stats and abilities. So many possibilities here, and you will want to sort these cards into decks for easy access, all according to the ID letter at the bottom of the card. But the artwork here is just amazing, and there's a huge vast number of these, like I said, which will ensure your campaigns stay fresh with each play. So there are 5 main phases of the game, and I'm just going to touch on these briefly to give you a feel of what it's like. Now, to start off, you're looking at that interstellar phase, that map, that overall map of the galaxy. This is where you will move your ships around the map via a roll of the dice, which might lead to collisions, which would lead to an encounter. Phase 2 is the navigation phase, and this is where you will assign encounter cards to the Freedom's navigation paths. Now, some of these cards might be related to a world that you're next to, and there's icons to show that. But you'll surround the ship with cards, and then it's up to the players to decide where they would like to go, what they would like to engage with. Phase 3 is the encounter phase. Taking your chosen card, you will flip it over, roll a die, and resolve the encounter. Again, these encounters can take on so many different paths, and if you need to engage in combat, be it either with the ship or on a planet, then you'll move to phase 4, which is the combat phase, or you will move to phase 5, which is the conclude phase. Okay, let's take a brief look at combat. There's lots of intricacies here, but it does have its own set of phases, and for space combat, you start with enemy upkeep. Then all the heroes will move. You'll activate the engines, which will provide power to the rest of the ship, then thrusters performing evasive maneuvers and revealing the enemy's thruster chip and resolving its effects. And of course, my favorite, activating weapons. You will fire and flip an enemy's shield chip. If you match the symbol, you will hit and allocate damage. You will do this for each hero firing weapons, and then your heroes will man the shields. You will reveal the enemy's attack chips to see where they hit, and if needed, allocate damage. It can be fires, radiation, or a virus might even break out in a section. And of course, you could lose heroes this way. Ground combat is a bit different. You'll be moving your heroes and engaging with the enemy on the ship or on a planet, but you will be using movement, actions, attacks, and so forth. Opportunity cards may come into play here as well, and in the end, you do have an option to flee. And in all cases, don't forget that each hero has special abilities that will come into play as well, drawing crystals and activating abilities at the bottom of the card. And likewise, all the enemies have their own special abilities that you'll be activating as well. And finally, you finish with the conclude phase. This is where you're going to be gaining encounter rewards and where you can buy and sell commodities, as that is a great way to make money in this game, hauling them around the galaxy. Now, this is also an opportunity. If you are on a capital world, you can spend that money to upgrade sections of your ship. Now, there's all kinds of upgrades here, and they can get quite pricey, but as you move through the game and it evolves, you're going to get more and more cash on hand to go after those bigger ticket items for your ship, and you'll need them as the game progresses for sure. So these are the basics. As you can imagine, there's much more going on as you engage with encounters and enemies and travel across the galaxy. So, can you save the Earth? Only time will tell. Alright folks, just a reminder once again, this has been a Dice Tower paid preview, and everything you've seen here has been in prototype form, so keep a close eye on the campaign for any changes that still may occur. Now with that said, one of the main things about this game, I just love the theme. I love cooperative games. I love the different powers of all the heroes based on their costumes. That really plays well. And how you move from this galaxy map to the zoomed version of your ship, to zooming in on a planet or a section of the ship, that is something really neat. And how you upgrade your particular bag of crystals to make your heroes that you're using more effective. Lots of interesting things here. But folks, ultimately, if this looks like a game that would be of interest to you, I'm sure they'd appreciate your support. So I think that's it for me, and until next time, we'll see you at the table.